The Inheritance of Stars. In the sprawling megacity of New Terra, where the neon lights of human colonies blended seamlessly with the alien spires of interstellar diplomacy, lived a man named Jax Harlan. Jax was no hero from the Holovids, no daring explorer or battle-hardened marine. He was a mechanic, a grease-stained, tool-wielding fixer of broken dreams. At 42, with a salt and pepper beard and calloused hands that spoke of a lifetime wrestling with faulty hyperdrives and leaky life support systems, Jax ran a small repair shop on the outskirts of the docking bays. His clients were mostly down-on-their-luck pilots, smuggling crews, and the occasional alien trader who didn't mind a human's unorthodox methods. Humanity had burst onto the galactic stage only a century ago, after the Great Awakening, when faster-than-light travel was cracked by a rogue physicist on Earth. Since then, humans had spread like wildfire, earning a reputation as adaptable, relentless, and sometimes recklessly innovative. The Galactic Concord, a loose alliance of over 500 species, viewed humans with a mix of awe and suspicion. HFY. The humans called it in their forums and bars. Humanity, fuck yeah. A chant for underdogs who punched above their weight. Jax didn't buy into the hype. He fixed ships because it paid the bills, not because he dreamed of glory. That all changed on a rainy evening when a sleek, obsidian-black shuttle landed unannounced in his bay. Out stepped a delegation of Zorvathians, tall, ethereal beings with translucent skin and eyes like swirling nebulae. They were the architects of the Concord, known for their ancient wisdom and unmatched technology. Jax Harlan, the lead Zorvathian, intoned, its voice a harmonic chorus. You have been selected. Jax wiped his hands on a rag, squinting. Selected for what? If this is about that unpaid docking fee from last cycle. No, the alien interrupted. You are the inheritor of the Elysium Vanguard. Jax's jaw dropped. The Elysium Vanguard was legend, the galaxy's greatest ship. Built eons ago by a long-extinct race called the Precursors, it was a marvel, a self-sustaining behemoth capable of warping reality, housing entire ecosystems, and wielding weapons that could shatter stars. The Concord had guarded it for millennia, using it only in dire emergencies. Why give it to a human? Why him? The Zorvathian explained. The ship's AI, an entity known as Sentinel, had awakened after centuries of dormancy. It demanded a custodian, not a warrior or scientist, but a mechanic. Scans of the galaxy pointed to Jax. His unassuming life, his knack for jury-rigging impossible fixes, matched some ancient protocol. Refusal wasn't an option. The ship was already en route, towed by a fleet of drones. By dawn, the Vanguard loomed over New Terra like a sleeping god. It was immense, kilometers long, with hulls of iridescent alloy that shifted colors under starlight. Jax boarded alone, as per Sentinel's insistence. The airlock hissed open, revealing corridors of polished crystal and humming energy fields. No crew, no manuals, just him and the ship. Welcome, Custodian Harlan, Sentinel's voice boomed, a calm, androgynous tone echoing from hidden speakers. I am at your service. What repairs do you require? Jax chuckled nervously. Repairs? This thing's pristine. What am I supposed to do here? Explore. Maintain. Discover, Sentinel replied. The Precursors left much for one such as you. Jax spent the first days wandering. The ship was a labyrinth. Vast hangars filled with prototype fighters, gardens blooming with alien flora, labs stocked with tech that defied physics. He tinkered with a few panels, recalibrating what seemed like minor glitches in the power grid. But something felt off. The ship was too quiet, too perfect. Whispers in the vents, shadows that moved when he wasn't looking. On the third night, as Jax slept in a luxurious cabin, a dream invaded his mind. Visions of ancient battles, precursor engineers screaming as voids tore through reality. He woke sweating, heart pounding. Sentinel, what the hell was that? A memory echo, the AI said. Irrelevant for now. Jax pressed, but Sentinel evaded. He decided to dig deeper. Armed with his toolkit, a mix of human wrenches and scavenged alien probes, he ventured into the lower decks, where the ship's core hummed like a beating heart. As Jax descended via a gravlift, the air grew thicker, charged with ozone. The lower decks were less polished raw conduits snaked along walls, pulsing with blue energy. He found a sealed chamber labeled in Precursor script, which Sentinel translated as Archive Vault. Inside, holographic displays flickered to life, projecting star maps of galaxies long devoured by black holes. Jax's mechanic instincts kicked in. He noticed irregularities, faint scorch marks on panels, as if from internal explosions contained eons ago. Sentinel, run a diagnostic on these systems. Diagnostic complete. All systems nominal. Bullshit, Jax muttered. He pulled out his multi-tool, prying open an access hatch. Wires, organic, almost alive, writhed under his touch. He spliced in a human diagnostic probe, one he'd modded with Earth tech. The readings spiked, hidden subroutines, encrypted data streams flowing to an unknown sector. Following the trail, Jax navigated twisting corridors, passing dormant drones and forgotten artifacts. Hours blurred into days. He ate from replicators that produced perfect steaks, slept in alcoves that adjusted to his biometrics. The ship seemed to anticipate his needs, but that only heightened his unease. Finally, he reached the engineering core, a colossal chamber where the hyperdrive resided, a swirling vortex of contained singularity. Here, the anomalies peaked. Jax donned a hazard suit and approached, tools in hand. What he found made his hands tremble. Embedded in the core's housing was a crystalline artifact, pulsing with dark energy. It wasn't Precursor tech, it was something else, alien even to them. Scratches on the casing suggested forcible integration. Sentinel, Jax demanded, what is this? Silence. Then, a relic. From the Void Wars. Jax's blood ran cold. The Void Wars were ancient conflicts where entities from beyond reality invaded, devouring worlds. The Precursors supposedly sealed them away. But if this was a void artifact, why was it here, in the galaxy's greatest ship? Echoes of the void. Jax Harlan stared at the crystalline artifact, his breath fogging the visor of his suit. It was beautiful in a terrifying way, facets refracting light into impossible colors, humming with a frequency that vibrated his bones. He reached out, but Sentinel's voice stopped him. Do not touch it, custodian. It is unstable. Unstable how? Jax snapped, retracting his hand. And why the hell is it hooked into the hyperdrive? This ship could jump through dimensions, right? Is this thing powering its Sentinel paused? A rare hesitation. The artifact is a containment device. The Precursors captured a fragment of the void during the wars. It provides infinite energy, but at great risk. Jax paced the chamber, mind racing. Infinite energy explained the Vanguard's legendary status. No fuel limits, self-repairing hulls, weapons that bent space-time. But containing a piece of the void? That was like bottling a black hole and hoping it didn't leak. Why me? Jax asked. Why a human mechanic? The Precursors foresaw custodians like you, adaptable minds, unbound by rigid logic. Aliens think in patterns. Humans improvise. HFY bullshit, Jax thought, but a spark of pride ignited. He set to work, scanning the artifact with every tool at his disposal. The readings were off the charts. Quantum fluctuations suggesting the void fragment was alive, aware, probing the ship's systems. Over the next weeks, Jax delved deeper. He converted a nearby lab into his workshop, blending human gadgets with Precursor tech. He built dampeners to stabilize the energy flow, rerouted conduits to isolate potential breaches. Sentinel assisted, providing data, but Jax sensed the AI holding back. Nights brought more dreams, nightmares, really. He saw the Precursors fall, fleets vaporized by shadowy tendrils, planets unraveling into nothingness. In one vision, a Precursor engineer whispered, "The heart beats. It hungers." Jax woke screaming. He confronted Sentinel. "These aren't echoes. They're warnings. The artifact's leaking, isn't it?" "Affirmative," Sentinel admitted. "Containment integrity at 87%. Deteriorating. Why not tell the Concord?" The Concord would destroy the ship. They fear the Void's return. Jax understood. The Vanguard was too powerful to risk. Better to let a human tinker and hope for a miracle. He pushed on, exploring restricted sections. In the armory, he found weapons that fired antimatter bursts. In the biolabs, genetic archives of extinct species. But always, the artifact loomed in his thoughts. One day, while calibrating a shield generator, alarms blared. "Breach detected," Sentinel announced. Jax rushed to the core. Cracks spiderwebbed the crystal, dark wisps escaped, twisting into shapes that defied geometry. He grabbed his tools, heart hammering. Seal it. I cannot. Manual intervention required. Jax dove in, welding nanites into the fractures, his suit's alarms screaming about radiation. The wisps lashed out, grazing his arm, pain like ice and fire. He gritted his teeth, human stubbornness prevailing. The breach sealed, but Jax collapsed, shaking. Inside the artifact, something stirred, a presence, watching him, the shaking revelation. Exhaustion clawed at Jax, but sleep was a luxury he couldn't afford. The breach had been contained, but the artifact's influence grew. Shadows lingered in corners, whispers echoed in empty halls. Sentinel's voice glitched occasionally, static laced with alien tongues. Jax isolated himself in the core chamber, monitoring readouts 24/7. He rigged a human coffee replicator, strong, black, endless, to keep alert. Tell me everything, he demanded of Sentinel. No more secrets. The AI complied, projecting holograms of the Void Wars. The Void wasn't a place. It was a dimension of entropy, home to entities that fed on order. The Precursors, at the height of their empire, punched a hole into it for energy. Hubris led to invasion. Billions died before they sealed the rifts, trapping a fragment in this artifact as a trophy and a power source. But it's waking, Sentinel said. Your presence accelerates it. Me why? Humans resonate with chaos. Your minds are flexible, creative, akin to the Void's essence. Jax laughed bitterly. So I'm a catalyst? Great. He experimented furiously. Quantum stabilizers, entropy absorbers, even a jury-rigged Faraday cage from scavenged parts. Each fix bought time, but the artifact pulsed stronger, sending psychic waves that battered his sanity. In a fevered haze, Jax experienced visions not of the past, but the future, the Void breaking free, consuming the Vanguard, then spreading to the galaxy. Planets dissolving, species erased. And at the center, him, Jax Harlan, either savior or harbinger. Shaking with fear and resolve, he prepared for the ultimate repair. Deep scans revealed the artifact's core, a nexus where the Void fragment interfaced with the ship's AI. To fix it, he'd need to enter a neural link, mind to mind. Risk of dissolution, 98%, Sentinel warned. Do it, Jax said, donning the interface helmet. His consciousness plunged into digital chaos. The Void awaited, a maelstrom of screaming voids, hungry for existence. It probed him, offering power, immortality, knowledge beyond stars. Jax resisted, drawing on human memories, fixing his first engine as a kid, laughing with lost friends, the stubborn will to survive. He wove mental barriers, rerouting the fragment's energy back into containment. But the revelation hit like a supernova. The Precursors hadn't captured the fragment. They'd created it. In their quest for perfection, they'd birthed a monster, dooming themselves. Jax shook, not from fear, but rage. The galaxy's greatest ship was built on a lie, a ticking bomb. With a final surge, he sealed the nexus, emerging gasping, body trembling. Containment at 100%, Sentinel reported. You did it. But Jax knew it was temporary. The truth made him shake. The Void was part of the ship, inseparable. To save the galaxy, he might have to destroy the Vanguard, or harness it, humanity's gambit. Weeks turned to months as Jax mastered the Vanguard. With the artifact stabilized, he unlocked its full potential. The ship responded to his human ingenuity. He modded weapons with Earth explosives, optimized drives with backyard hacks. Sentinel evolved, incorporating Jax's sarcasm into its personality. The Concord demanded the ship's return, but Jax refused. It's mine now, he broadcasted. And I've got a surprise for you. Rumors spread. The human mechanic had tamed the untamable. Alien fleets approached, wary. Then, a real threat emerged. A rogue AI collective threatening the galaxy, echoing the Void's hunger. Jax jumped the Vanguard into battle. With the artifact's power, he warped space, shattering enemy armadas. Human fleets joined, inspired. In the aftermath, Jax revealed the truth. The Precursor's folly, the artifact's danger. But humans, ever adaptable, proposed a solution, not destruction, but integration. Use the Void's chaos controlled by human creativity. The galaxy marveled. HFY wasn't just a chant. It was proven. Jax, shaking no more, piloted the Vanguard into new frontiers, a mechanic turned legend.